Oh yeah, so here we are, the first of the Zwift qualifiers, and yeah, I don't think this is being live streamed anywhere. I'm sure there are some people who are live streaming it on their own channels. I know some of the guys are, and but yeah, as you can see, this is what it's like if you're a DS. You get stuck in this pen on one of these big kids bikes, which it's impossible to hold onto the handlebars. You actually a bit like Saw, you actually have to have your arms bonded into the handlebar, and yeah, it looks like a torture device. It's a bit like a stocks. So, but there will be no tomatoes thrown at us tonight. So this is a massive race, not in how important it is. I guess it is important in some ways, but it's massive just in how many riders there are. In the women, there's 110 riders, I think. And in the men's, there's, I don't know how many. There's got to be over 130, which is huge for an invitational race. It's going to be absolutely bonkers. So yeah, we might see a few names which we've not come across before who are right up there smashing it. We'll have a look. I don't think I've ever watched a race, kind of like a private race of this scale. So yeah, so we got 20 seconds to go, and yeah, the guys, they are riding on the Harrogate course, and it's going to be the first 4 kilometers are all uphill, and I think we'll already see some splits considering how big the pack is. We're already going to see some splits straight from the off. So if I can find my cursor, let's get ready to rumble. There we are. Now look at that. So I'm not going to be fully talking over this race because I also need to chat to the guys on Discord. That does not look like 130 odd riders, but there you go. I'm sorry if it's a little bit glitchy, but it just is at the moment. What's up? Yeah, so as you can see, it's not really as strung out as I thought it was going to be. I thought at this point it was already going to be super strung out. But no, everyone's pretty much staying together. Let's have a look. Let's jump back. Let's see. This pack is massive. 171. 171. That is ridiculous. Especially when there are so few points on offer. So the majority of riders here will not score any points for their teams. Yeah, they probably could have offered a few more points for riders to make it a bit more worthwhile for a lot of these riders, but is what it is. And yeah, that's probably what's killing my CPU, is having all of these riders in this race. But everyone has managed to pretty much stay together. It's gonna take me a year just to scroll through everyone. Jesus. Well, everyone stayed together. Actually, genuinely, to be honest, I thought it was going to be raced a lot harder at that section. To see nearly all these riders still hanging tough, I think is super surprising. There's a few little gaps just opening up there, though. So it looks like we will lose a few riders, but I mean, it's not going to be a huge amount. It's hard to think there's actually 170 in that group, though. Maybe it's a bit less if it's including the DSs, but oh no, look at all those names splitting up. Blah. All right. You got a little bit of a descent here before it kicks up again to the corner. You can just see Lionel's there. Here he is. All right, we'll keep an eye on him. But straight after the men's race is the women's race, which I might struggle to also cover because I don't think this race is going to finish before that one starts. We'll have to see, but I don't think it will. Fingers crossed, because it'd be great to be able to jump in and then watch the women's race as well. Anyway, what's your predictions for this race? Anyone got any hot bets? I'm going to turn on the restream chat and have a look if you've got any ideas. Yeah, so I actually think that there are so many riders in this. It seems that there are so many riders, I can't actually see them all in one go. You know, like when it's one a big sportif or something, you can't see them. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe there will be no splits, and there'll be 100 people doing a bunch sprint at the end. It's a bit mental at the moment, and it's super hard. I think as a DS, I mean, it's almost impossible to DS this at the moment, to be honest. So, and you'll see some riders sort of popping in, coming out of nowhere. Yeah. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to hear the thoughts of riders, how effective it is having so many people racing at the same time in a qualifier. Definitely, I think I would like to hope actually that after these qualifiers, there won't need to be qualifiers for the teams that qualified again, and we can operate some sort of promotion and relegation for teams, like a proper league, because I don't think this is going to work effectively on other occasions already, and especially the next race we've got is on the Champs-Élysées. Is that gonna break up at all if you've got nearly 200 riders on it? So yeah, it's a little bit it's a little bit like the Haute Route. It feels like the Haute Route where there were thousands or like whatever 4,000 people on it. Pretty much seems to have the same effect at the moment. Nice to see Lionel giving a little wave there. Give Lionel a little wave back. Right, I'm going to stick the chat on. Let's have a little bit of music. I don't think much is going to happen for probably the very end. I've seen Lionel ride this section so many times. You see how he was like looking like he's going to slip off the back, and then boom, stamps on the pedals, and now he's back to the front again. Find me a rider who can ride that section a little time better. I think you're going to struggle. So usually at this point in a race, I would be looking and trying to see who's been dropped, recording, sending messages back. Oh, this person's gone. This person's attacking off the front. Honestly, in this scenario, it's almost pointless because there's so many people. It takes so long to scroll through. And you can see here, you've just got, there you go. There's a couple of guys. I saw Cutler was off the front. I don't think that'll last based on what we've seen from other races. So he's just going to hold his momentum for a bit. And, the guys are just going to basically sit there. It's going to be over the peak in a second. And then it's relatively, in inverted commas, chilled until we get back. Until we get back on the section back up to what is the finishing line? All right, there you go. So actually, got split on that little climb there, and then on the descent. So there you go. Just goes to show, if you don't make it over those little climbs, and you're not, you know, as you saw Steve Young, he had to do a bit of an effort in order to get back on. Then if you don't do it, then you're out. And even Coleman here, it looks like he's not actually going to make it. He just hasn't been able to do that, to make that leap to get back on. And I think he's going to realize that any second now. But he's out. I don't think he's coming back. So let's jump back to his teammate, Locke, who now is the last rider on this group. So we're already down to 80 riders. We've lost nearly 100 riders there. I didn't expect that to happen on that climb, to be honest, because it's relatively small in comparison to the climb we went up at the beginning, but it is a lot steeper. So, and you can see the gap was really accentuated on the descent. So Steve did really well there. He managed to sprint across. I was on Discord telling him he had to do it, so he did it perfectly. So looks like we've got the whole team in here, which is great. Yeah, so now there's about 80 riders in here. Only half of them are going to gain any points in this race. So yeah, but it's good. I think it's good for the race that it's now cut down to a much smaller group. Yeah, possibly more of the riders you'd normally see in the Pro-Ams in this group. I can see some guys from Team Power Auto. There's a TFC guy there who we don't often see. Yeah, so it's, you know, Cryo. They haven't been racing since the since that incident. I think if you follow e-racing, you'll know what that incident is. But there you go, they're back in, and not with that rider. The Dutch team as well. They've done a bit of racing, the top level. So yeah, so this feels a little bit more like a proper race now that selection has been made. And now the riders can start to think about whether there's going to be any tactics. I mean, this time going up the hill, you know, but they're probably going to be pushing a little bit harder maybe than they did last time. And the aerodynamics, the dynamics are going to be a little bit different now. Now there's less riders. So I don't actually know how many riders were dropped earlier on because you couldn't see them. There was too many of them. But now we're going to have a better idea of that. So I'm going to keep an eye on this climb, and I'm going to jump back into into Discord with the team to give them a bit of information. I'll leave you with a bit of music, and then I'll come back in a second.
Used to be.
Alright, I haven't been able to get the challenge just yet. For some reason it's forgotten my login details. This is the kind of information you're looking for when you come to the stream, right? If I log into chat, pretty much all I expect to see is Josh telling me the frame rate is too low, which is what I normally get. I appreciate your views though, Josh. Like literal views, as in not opinions. I appreciate your opinions as well, but also your literal views of my stream. Anyway, oh, good to see you, Adam. Interestingly enough, watching this section of the climb again, it's not really broken up again, to be honest. I mean, there's a few riders I saw Holden falling to the back. I don't think he'll massively be in trouble on this bit. He's going to be back on this little decline before we get onto that little... there's a little pitch up back to the corner, but it seems that actually where the race is going to really open up again is going to be on that second little climb where we lost nearly 100 riders last time. Yeah, so I think everyone's going to be pretty much fine, but we're going to keep an eye on that climb to see if we lose anybody else again. There's probably going to be a few guys who are suffering on this section. They are going to hold in there. They're not going to get dropped, but they're going to be struggling. And here we already have Lino shooting off the front, keen to make things difficult. If there is any rider who likes to make things difficult for everybody else, you know it's going to be Lino Viasin or Ollie Jones. Ah, Freddie. Yeah, sorry. Zwift rules, they say you have to be 18 to ride in Pro-Ams. There was a bit of a hoo-ha around this in the last one. And they've decided to say, yeah, 100% no, under 18's allowed to race. Physique games, you know your stuff. It's really strung out here. Let's see if that attack by Lino seems to have done the job of making it difficult. So let's see if it has any major impact or whether this is all momentarily cosmetic. So there you go, he's dropped to the back, does his little attack, ups the pace, and then drops back to get a bit of recovery from his own attack. Unlike Alaphilippe, I'm glad we don't have the likes of Alaphilippe on Zwift anymore. The way that he dropped himself, he attacked and dropped himself in the Tour de France was one of the weirdest things I think I've ever seen. Yeah, imagine doing that on Zwift. Imagine doing that in real life, let alone that's probably the more likely thing you'd see on Zwift than in real life. So yeah, this is why we have proper e-racers and who know what they're doing. So Lino did a great attack there, dropped back, now he's back in the pack having a bit of a rest. I believe I heard on the Discord that also he was calling for his soigneur to his girlfriend to go get an extra fan for him. So clearly it's very warm in Belgium at the moment. But I know the guys who are racing in Europe at the moment, they're definitely a lot. Ooh, no, I don't want to end up going to that event in the middle of this one. Oh, cursor. Yeah, the guys who are racing in Europe is definitely a lot harder. Maybe not for these Scandinavians. Got to be a little bit cooler up there. I don't know what it's like in America. I guess it depends what part of America you're in. Canada. Oh, I nearly said it. Oh, I did say it. Canada. I'm just going to say it's always cold, whether that's true or not. For sure, the guys in the southern hemisphere where it is winter, yeah, this has got to be a lot better. So I think if you looked at the array of heart rates, it's more likely to be the Europeans who are really suffering. But saying that, look at Lionel's heart rate. Back down to 150. That's an incredible recovery from where it was before. And yeah, everyone's doing pretty good. Stick in this group. Freddie also saying in the chat that he has no idea why. I presume why Affiliate did it. Oh, can you hear me over the music, by the way? I'm switching from de-essing and doing the commentary and then trying to give you some music so it's not completely silent. Oh, drop the music down a bit. Yeah, not the most action-packed race, but let's wait for that climb again. It's going to be exciting. Before we get there, I'm going to jump in and wish the women's team the best of luck for their race.
Hallucination to the point that it will change human reality.
Interestingly then, I was just chatting to Lino in the chat. He said he actually didn't really have any draft on the descent for some reason. So maybe there's a bit of an issue there. I remember, what race was it we had and the draft was turned off. It was an insane race. Basically a full race like this, but with a time trial.
Like the way you make it drop to that baseline.
I don't know what's happened there. Matt, what are you doing out of the pens, huh? Shall I just watch this bit of the race? What?
Nick.
Seriously? I did not expect to see that happening. I'm pretty sure he meant to stay in the pens, to be honest. As you can see, though, it really has got strung out again. And it looks like Siaka is going to be the last to get on. Yeah, Moore didn't have his heart rate monitor on then, so no point trying to race across. Oh, sorry. I keep turning my mic to turn on and it's not working. So, yeah, really surprised but we did lose so many people there. So it's down to, what did I say? It's about 55 people. So most of the people here now are going to get points. So in the end, it's just going to depend on how many. As you say, you could see more there from Aero. Didn't have a heart rate monitor on, so that would have been a disqualification for him anyway. So yeah, you have to dual record, you have to have a heart rate monitor on, you have to measure your height, you have to measure your weight, no exceptions. So yeah, I guess it would have really sucked for him to pushed on over and closed that gap just to be DQ'd again. So, and it happens sometimes, your heart rate monitor just loses power and you're out. Or often some people forget to put them on. The pros don't put them on. But yeah, if you're a proper e-racer, then you have to have a heart rate monitor on. There you go, there's a bit of music for you, Freddie. Sorry, I'm multitasking. Am I on Spotify? Yes, of course I'm on Spotify. Have you not listened to the Canyon e-racing Spotify playlist? That is what I put together with some drum and bass. I'm going to do another drum and bass one, and I'm going to do a hardcore one as well, so with some old school rave music. Yeah, and the tricycle, yeah, so you saw Matt Brandt on a tricycle there, so he's de-essing for the indoor specialist team, and I'm also on a tricycle, but you're supposed to stay in the pen, you're not supposed to be out on the course. And the reason for that, I think, is so that it's really obvious if you've started racing that you're not supposed to be there because you're on a tricycle. So I'm guessing that he's just pedaling. You could see he was only doing like 100 watts. I guess he's just pedaling whilst he's talking. But my bike is hanging on the wall. I can't be bothered to set it up. Just a DS. So Freddie says I need to listen to his and Aiden's music. Freddie, I'm really not sure I do. But if you send me something, I will listen to it. I'm very critical. Very critical. Especially, mainly when it comes to music. Everything else, I'm completely open about. My girlfriend is just laughing in the background. She doesn't believe me. Fair enough. Anyway, so this is the pack. But we have the Canyon Esports Discord is very quiet right now. Very quiet. So I guess there is not a huge amount happening. So again, most of these riders here are going to score themselves and their teams some points. So I don't imagine there's a huge amount of appetite to make this any more difficult than it has to be. However, you can't put it past some riders deciding to really kick the tyres and then make it hurt for everybody else. Again, it does matter how many points you get. There are points for the top 40, but of course they're in descending order, so you want to be up as high as you can. I think all of the Canyon boys are in here though, which is pretty good to see. Oh, they're very quiet on the chat. Freddie says Nefex is where it's at. What is Nefex? It just looks like you've misspelled Netflix. Rusty has shared his Spotify. Alright, Rusty, I'll check it out. I'm worried if I click it now it's going to start playing. I'm going to save it, and then I'll listen to it afterwards. Yeah, let's have a look through the peloton and let's see who's actually made it in. Again, in the chat, send me your predictions for who you think is going to win today. Slight uphill finish, so... So Dan Fleeman is in here. I thought it was him who we passed him, but it did turn out to be Matt Brandt on his tricycle. Just seeing what names jump out at me. I can see Larson's in there. Cutler has been very animated in this race. Ooh, you've got actually somebody from the Italian team. I missed the name there. Sonnenfeld. It's a very German name. maybe it's on the Austrian border. That would explain it. And Lejeune is going off the front. Lejeune. Oh. Sonnenfeld's being lapped. Sorry, that's why Sonnenfeld appeared. Freddie says Leo's going to win. It's a good choice. It's the sort of finish line which would suit him. Freddie says, Muff, because I have to back my team. Excuse me? I don't know if Muff is a surname. Could be. I mean, it's a very international group of riders. Muff could be a first name in some countries. Probably in Scandinavia. Fleeman, Jones, Leo from Swinko. Physique Games. Oh, a bit of swearing. Have I banned swearing on my Twitch chat? I wouldn't have done it on purpose. Physique Games saying he didn't come to poop around today. Yeah, we'll see. But he says he's had a bit of troubles with the drafting on the descent. So it was a bit weird. Have a look at it on that descent again. He dropped out the back for some reason. Rusty wants one of the 3R lads. I haven't spotted any of the 3R lads, to be honest. There's a few of the... Someone's going to have to tell me how you pronounce... Is it Poauto? Poauto? It looks like potato. Lejeune falling to the back here. Maybe he is also having a breather. Quite a few of the BZR guys managed to hang in here. Thanks for all the chat, guys. This is livening things up. I still want to know about Muff, the Muffster, the Mufferoon. Maybe it is potato. Maybe. I am not gonna go down that route, Swinny. I think if I go down that route, talking about potatoes and some of our neighbours, there'll be a few. I don't know how many Irish fans we have on the channel. Danish. Are they? Why would it be called potato though? Anyway, you can see here, I am actually leading by the looks of things. No, it's Hill here from Aero. So the Aero team are riding in this green jersey. This is a plain Zwift jersey because they don't have their kit in the game. So that's why. So they're in the green. Just in case you're wondering. So if you see any green kits, that is the Aero team. Can the Python grab another win? Going to be a tough one. It's kind of an uphill finish. That's not typical Python territory. The boy likes it flat. Freddie is salty. Reese is salty because we're ahead on Z Power. Come on, the rankings on Zwift Power are, I won't go as far to say they are utter nonsense. I'll just go as far as to say that they are largely nonsense. I guess they give you a general indicator, but you shouldn't be able to win points like in the way that some teams do. And you certainly shouldn't be able to just like rage quit and not lose points like some riders do. Anyway, so there's problems with Zwift rankings. Arguably, there are problems with all sorts of rankings. Certainly, the Rugby World Cup rankings are often accused of being complete nonsense. Salty, see? I'm not salty. I don't really pay attention to the rankings so much. Well, Canyon have been first. And then for a week, and then they're not first. I don't mind. It's all about what you do in the races. But thank you, Freddie, for calming me down. I get very worked up about those things. Anyway, back to the race. We're nearly on that other section of the climb. Or section of the course. Where we are possibly going to see some more people getting dropped. And are we going to see as many power-ups coming in? Because it's undoubtedly going to be the case that people are going to want to hold on to them until the finish. So let's see. Let's keep an eye on this. Where's Lionel? Let's see if he falls out of this group again. Not by his own making. Maybe he's going to try and push up so that he doesn't get dropped here. There must be some sort of black hole. I've seen Lionel descend this section before, and he's normally at the back and then charges through everyone. So for me, it didn't look that strange. He was the one who seemed to suggest there was some issue with his drafting, but he looks a lot better here.
Somebody's got to take matters into their own hands.
Oh, I wish one day I hope for, I don't know what you would call it, but like slow position on the side, so that when you're actually looking at, I think even if you're watching a live stream, it's impossible to keep track of who's doing what on the side. And yeah, for me especially, it's super difficult to switch between riders, so Freddie's asking, when do I know roughly the dev announcement is coming? So we're aiming to have the announcement out by the end of the month. Fingers crossed. So say there was a lot of people who applied, so it's a long process to go through and actually pick the final riders to be in the squad. So hopefully by the end of the month, yeah, we should have the final team sorted. So keep an eye out. If for anyone who's already applied, for example, if you don't get picked, we'll let you know, of course, before everybody else. And if you do get picked, of course, you'll also know. So, but it's a long process. But good question, Freddie. We want to let people know as soon as possible. Put them. I see Muff there. Which sounds like, sorry, I said it like I was a sailor spotting land ahoy. Let's see if anybody else gets dropped on this. So I saw Muff there. I haven't. See Karminski, good to see him. He's been racing in the small mini series which we've been running, so it's pretty cool to see him out there. I'm not sure what team he's riding for. Good luck to you, sir. Always good to see riders who have joined the application process. Can I just drop and see how many riders there are? Alright, we're down to 51 riders. I think that's everyone pretty much. Maybe we lost 4 riders there. Alright, so yeah, pretty much everybody in here. I imagine most of these guys are now going to make it to the finals, so there's only a handful of riders here who are actually going to miss out on points, which is going to be a bit of a shame for them. But you know, still, fair play to them to get it, to get this far and stay with everyone. There's no guarantee at this point who is going to get points, so it's going to be super interesting. Freddie jumping in saying, Brenland, you forgot your rumlouts. Brenland has just been on a fat training camp. Alright, well he's looking a lot better than he was in the off the map tour. He looked a little bit off the boil in that series. So, but he's hanging tough in this one, so clearly that training camp has worked for him. You would expect it's the sort of finish that he has liked in the past. There is a rider off the front here. Who is it? Cutler, by the looks of it. Alright, just let the guys know that Cutler's off the front. Oh my god, Zwift, just let me pick. Oh. That's the stuff I get more annoyed about. So yeah, it's Cutler again off the front. I think we've seen him chipping off the front. He was doing that in the off the map tour as well. Can't seem to remember any of them sticking. But why not? Try your luck, go early. He's got 6 seconds here. I see it's Muff from Po Alto. Po Alto, someone please tell me. I'll try and say it properly. So now I know who he is. true, Freddie. It is off the map. And he's got a long way to go here, Cutler. I don't think 5 seconds is going to be enough. So it looks like they're just letting him kind of dangle out here. But for sure, there's going to be some of the guys, some of the sprinters. Is that P-O Alto? Is that correct? P-O Alto? There you go. He's not far from the finish line here, old Cutty boy. But he's only got 2 seconds back to Hill. P.O. Alto. Alright, I'll try and remember that. Would never have got that. P.O. Alto. Is it like P and O? Leo does not give up 3 wins. No, he's got a day ticket. He has got a day ticket to win City. And yeah, he's riding for free. There's a lot of fans for Team Potato. Oh, Hill's caught him now. Cutler. It was a nice try. Bit of TV time. Not that there's any live streaming coverage except for mine right here, which is possibly the biggest live stream there is of this race right now. Hill here with a big gap, but we're seeing those orange numbers. He's going to get caught quickly. And we are seeing the feather power-ups coming thick and fast. Let's try and catch one of our riders. Brennan here at the front. I think he might get swamped here, to be honest. He's still going to pick up points. You can see Ollie Jones there. Here's Ollie Jones. Oh, racing to the line. Ollie Jones, is he going to do it? He's going all the way. His teammate Lino not far behind. Come on, Ollie Jones. Is he going to make it? Oh, I'm not sure. I think Ashton might have just got him on the line. Ollie Jones, I think, second. Lino in third by the looks of things. Josh says Leo has 28 views. If that doesn't count, though. That doesn't count, though. Anyway, I'm not sure the guy who actually won it. We'll see if that... We'll see where the final race results end up. But anyway, it looks like Ollie Jones in second on the day. Lino Viasin in third. Sorry, impossible to see where everybody else finished. Without checking the results. I'm going to try and see if I can get onto the women's race. I don't know if that's strictly possible. It's on the same course, so we'll just have a look and see if we can do that. All right, so thanks for Josh for confirming. So I think there's there's a confusion around the results. You'll probably be unsurprised to hear. Yeah, it sounds like Ashton first, Ollie second, Leo second, Ollie third, Westy in sixth. But I think some other people saw some different results. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what it says on Zwift Power.
Like the way you make it drop to that bass line.
All right, we're here. Let's try and see if I can join the women's race. Alright, now I'm going to try and get over onto the women's race if I can. Oh, now Claudia's asking me. Wait a minute. I'll talk to them in a second. Once I jumped ship. Okay. See, I've got my own trike for those that were interested. I have a trike as well. Gosh, yeah, beautiful. I'm alone. Where's everybody else? When I search for Claudia, should be the first one that pops up. Right, let's see if I can. Candy's not going to work. Let's see if I quit this event. Yes, please let me stay there. Oh, it switched right. You have proved that you fight well. Alright guys, wow, I'm going to have to switch now. For those of you on Twitch, I am going to raise you to Claudia's stream, because I know she is streaming. So thanks everyone. See if this is actually highly possible. You have proved that you fight well. Does that work? I don't know. I have a feeling that it's just posted with that, but not actually. I don't know all of these shorthands for Twitch. But yeah, it'd be really good to go watch the women's race, give them support. Hangs up. So watch. those who watch on other channels, you will not know what I'm doing. Other channel is up. Alright, Claudia had a problem, so she is not live streaming. Yeah, so none of the girls are live streaming tonight, so I can't switch over and raid their channel. So that's it from me. Sadly, I can't seem to get on and watch their race. So sorry about that. Thanks for watching the men's race anyway. Possibly next week we'll watch the women's race instead as a change. Alright, catch you later.